Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first match of the week from our esports, and it is going to be a esports. Why do I keep saying esports? It's going to be Center's Valorant team here. Unfortunately, Blimey is sick. Blimey is sick at the moment. We miss you, Blimey. And Blimey thought I was going to be filled in with. I say filled in with Twice Stand, but Twice Stand was here last week. It seems that we just have a regular 6-player rotation going around now. But we are going to be playing with Twice Stand, Pierogi, Ixora, Whisper, and Snom today. It was a pretty quick lock-in from college name insert here.
University of Alabama in Huntsville, otherwise known as UAH.
UAH. Pretty quick lock-in from both teams. I did hear a little bit of. I don't know if this is maybe too foretelling, but they were thinking, oh, is this the team that runs that breach? So maybe this breach has some history behind it, or at least some merit behind it. Chamber on Lotus, I really like. I have not played Valorant in a minute. I will admit, I am not up to date on metas. I'm not up to date on, especially the maps that we have lined up today, which I believe are Lotus, Sunset, and then Split. I'm not super familiar. Split's fine, but not super familiar with the strats. So please forgive me for maybe leaving you guys in the dark. Running the chamber, though, this is a very open map. It's a map that's got either a right angle or a really open just hallway that you can shoot down. And so I feel like chamber is not gonna be that bad of a pick at all. Whisper is gonna push forward on the raise. Instantly throws that nade. He's getting really close. Whisper is being hyper aggressive here. Gonna use that boom pump for recon while Ixora is gonna peek into this Viper. Sees the Viper and is able to take the Viper out. That's fantastic first blood. First blood in the entire series. Twice Stand's about to get run up on by two of UAH's people. Twice Stand is concussed. Not much they can really do. He's able to get the jet though.
planted.
No, unfortunate. The breach on breach, not able to win that mirrored
One enemy
matchup.
remaining.
By stand peeking the omen, knowing that the omen's concussed. A really nice pistol round. Really nice pistol round that got 3 picks. Sorry, that got 3 survivors. I don't know why I'm so scrambled. So scrambled. I got to get back into it. Running a, I want to say that this is a standard comp because we've got the picks that we love, and we've got the Gecko, we've got the Astra, we've got the KJ, but players are a little mixed up here. Of course, Snom on that Astra is that's something I always love to see, but you also have the Raze from Whisper, and the Gecko is twice Stan here. And it's, sorry, I'm dumb. Pierogi is playing Gecko, and what we normally see Pierogi on, which is the Killjoy, is being played by Twice Stan. I'm all mixed up. So I'm just gonna push forward a little bit here, pretty similar to how Whisper played this. Really, you can't really peek through there whenever you're just so behind on economy like that. Chamber's gonna have to just hope to get a pick with the headhunter, and even then it's gonna cost a little bit of money. Ooh, just kind of strafe peeking into each other. Not really able to peek anywhere. They are gonna have a heavy presence on B, so hopefully Summer Center can rotate to B main a little bit. Got that concuss ready. Throw that concuss, and I believe it's gonna hit 2. Throws out the blast. Gonna decide to back up here. Snom does get taken out by the Chamber, but Twice Stan able to rotate through doors, taking out the Viper, and then taking out 2 more. That's a lovely triple. Having to switch to the Ghost for that long range. Kind of styled on a little bit. Ooh, unfortunate, not able to get the ace because just having to reload. You only have so many bullets in the clip. Gonna throw the wingman just to get sort of confirmation that they're still there, that they're not rotating, and you're gonna hold because you have Spike. Presence, still no. That's the TP used. Not a lot of utility for this Chamber left, and they still have to push on the site. Nice. A lovely little duo action there, to where you just have 2 people staring at this door. If I don't get them, then somebody else will. It's really good to just have teammates that can all look at the same exact spot. You don't get that very often in this game. We are 2-0. This round is going to be a little bit less in Center's favor, as Center did win pistol round, something that Center is notorious for doing. Means that they get to win that second round pretty free, but this round is going to be a little bit strapped for cash compared to UAH. Gonna throw those nades out first. Whisper again playing this really close on the Bucky round. I love to see it. The Jet peeks out, Buckied. Get the Omen, Buckied. Come on, get a third. Get a third, Whisper. Whisper knows I've got 5 shells in, 8 shells out. I'm gonna get another one. I have more bullets than you have teammates, and quite frankly, they're one tap. Oh, no faith in the Bucky. So sad. Gonna pick up a much better gun and probably gonna rotate pretty quick here. As presence is, I'm not quite sure if this is confirmed or maybe just speculated, but a lot of presence on C. So all of Center is gonna sort of rotate around the map. We do have 2 in their spawn, not able to do much, but able to trade Snom there. Whisper was able to not make that just 2 of them falling, and was able to take out one of theirs in the process, maintaining the lead that Center has here. They're going to be pushing. It looks like they might touch door, and if they touch door, that means that they're going to be alerted. Now Center knows that at least somebody's on A, and there's only 2 people, so at least half of the team is on A. They're going to try and push forward. They're going to have to push through this Viper smoke that they set up at the beginning. Spike's planted, so the time's been refreshed. Twice still has a pretty decent amount of health. You know, of course, heavies is ideal, but I'm certainly not one to complain about lights. Unfortunate, just the util while Twice Stand peaks. The flash goes out. Pierogi getting 1. Pierogi getting the 2nd. That was absolutely beautifully played. Pierogi saw Twice Stand go down because Pierogi had that util out. and said, I can't let that go down for nothing. I've got to get something for this, and decided to get the duo trade. That's a fantastic way to play that, especially whenever you have, I believe Dizzy was used there to flash them. It was a really well played. And now, Twice Stan has KJ lockdown. Sorry, I still can't get over the scramble that we have here. I don't know, I'm just not used to these players being in these positions.
Placing swarm grenade.
I think that this lockdown, especially on sites like C and maybe even B, I don't feel as strongly about B, but lockdown can definitely just deny them C access. Absolutely deny them C access. It looks like they're not going to go to C at all. They're going to 5-stack B. Dizzy goes up. I don't know that that flashes anybody, but presence is certainly known on the site. Getting rushed a little bit there. Sura's going to need to hightail it. Lockdown comes out. They're going to have to back up. Center can now push onto the site. The bomb is down. That lockdown goes off. 2 players detained. It's going to heavily hinder them there. They're able to throw out some utility that gets them off of the bomb, but Rogi was able to have it. Twice Stan peeks out. Nice. Twice Stan and Snom able to take out 4. And then the bomb gets defused before Snom can get that 4K. Wonderfully played. Wonderfully played. That's 2 really close 4Ks, almost aces. I think that this nice half, I believe this is their pick. This is UAH's map pick, but our side pick. So we are expected to do a little bit better on this side. And granted, 4 is not that much of a lead, but if this is any sort of forecast into how the rest of the game is going to go, I'm really looking forward to it. With Pierogi having that Thrash, I'm also looking forward to that. I love Gecko, and I love Thrash. Doesn't quite see anything with the flash. Whisper gets taken out on A. So Snom's just going to have to stall, because they're probably going to want to play off of that pick, especially with all of the lurkers that they have that can just pick up bomb and take it to A. They're probably going to want to play off that and go to A before the entire team rotates. Yeah, Ixora incredibly hurt. Probably doesn't want to peek this alone with Snom, but everybody else is still rotating from B and C. They're now planting, so presence has been made, and they're deciding to buckle down here. But Snom looks like he's going to use that wall to sever that site in half. If you're sitting in tree, you don't know what's happening on site. And Thrash is going to get the 3 Thrash? Was that a triple Thrash, or was that none? I can't tell. I could not tell. Ixora is able to get one, but then instantly have to stand in that molly for a little bit too long. Oh, one behind, it seems. Oh, unfortunate. Not able to get another use out of that Thrash, and that wall is going to go down. Not a lot of time to dilly-dally here. Snom's going to have to take out 3. Smoke goes up. Maybe looking for 1 on the way out. Possibly looking for 2, but not able to find it. I think that 1 is still plenty, though. 1 is still plenty with the lead that you've already gotten. 3 of their players dying is going to put 3 of their players behind. Granted, they got to win, but I think that that's probably best case scenario is you take 1 out. Going into this, don't know if that's a visual bug or if Chamber just has already ulted. I don't remember if he can do that. But they're going to have a lot of ults either way. They're going to have the Jet Knives, the Viper's Pit. They're going to have that Omen...
You want to play? Let's
Walk
play.
the Shadows, or whatever that bad ultimate is called. Not able to see much with Flash. I think that this Flash can see quite a bit. I'm not exactly sure what it can see, but it wasn't able to see anybody, but they're making a lot of noise, so it doesn't really matter. Not having ultimate, so not able to really stall with much other than just things like Wingman and Mosh Pit. But it looks like they're not going to commit to C, and they're going to back it on up. We do have this Viper Snom matchup that we might see in B here. Using a little bit of util, just to maybe deter them from certain sites. They're going to use that door. Now rotating onto B, so Snom's going to have to back it up. Ooh, the flash goes out and hits both Pierogi and Whoever's playing Brim. Sorry, these picks are really throwing me off. Snom is able to get 2. Nice, and Twice Stain is able to get the Viper. They now have no smokes. They just have a Sentinel and a Breach. Granted, that Breach is hitting those
30
flashes.
seconds left. One enemy
Breach is
remaining.
hurt. So is Chamber. Chamber gets down. There we go. Ixora cleaning that up with the fresh 2 at the end. I'm so sorry, Ixora. I had to say whoever's playing Breach. I'm just not used to these picks. You know, you pick... Anybody plays Reyna, I think they're Ixora. But Ixora plays Breach, and I get jumbled. I get scrambled. But nonetheless, still 4 ultimates on the board. They opted to not use those ultimates in that round. I don't know if any of them would have really done much. They might be saving Jet Knives for maybe a budget round. And I don't know. I still feel like Breach ultimate is just a really good site clear. Whether they popped it when they're on C or whenever they're all together on B, it's still really good to use just to get onto a site. I think that B is a little bit more risky as it's a little bit bigger and a lot less Breach ultimate shaped. The flash goes out. I don't think that Whisper gets hit by that because of the weird jankiness of the door. Nice. Whisper was able to take out 1 with the showstopper. Jet Knives are there. Hopefully the Boombot can deter that a little bit. Unfortunate. Just too many things to look at. Ixora gets 1 and then gets taken out. Now Twice Stain and Pierogi. Jet Knives are still in play. And UAH has site control. Chamber's definitely going to be looking for that ace. Probably going to be playing a little bit aggressive. Hopefully Pierogi doesn't give it to him. They're about to peek each other, so we'll see. Unfortunate. I only say unfortunate because that was 2 4Ks, almost 2 aces for center, just for the ace to be gotten by UAH. You know, it's sad that we couldn't get it, but we do still have the lead. I'm a little bit nervous about how it's going money-wise. I think that we're having to save up a little bit here. We don't exactly have the deep pockets that we did, and rifles galore for UAH. Those knives came out, and so that's maybe a big ultimate. I'm not sure how much they actually got utilized in that round, but they did come out, so they can't be used. The Breach ultimate onto C could just absolutely collapse. Just everybody standing there, especially if they hold it more towards the right. You're gonna get maybe even Ixora if they wait long enough. Twice Stain and Pierogi having to play kind of close. That utility is not something that is a far range for Pierogi. Snom is sort of being a little bit of a nuisance with Whisper here on A site. Looks like they're going to go rotate off of C. Again, do still have those really big, just site clear ultimates. Chamber peaks, Chamber falls, but the flash is going to take out Whisper and Snom. That Dizzy goes up, doesn't see anything. It's time to rotate. Now the door has been used. Ixora with a Breach ultimate of his own is going to maybe try and get just a site-wide just collapse.
30 seconds left.
I think that this is going to hit all of them. That certainly hits the majority of them. Not enough time to peek. The reload onto the Jet, not able to get it. Pierogi and Twice Stain fall. It's just Ixora. This Viper could peek any moment. Viper decides to unpeek it. Ixora needs to push out of this. Yeah, I think maybe it's sorry, I keep pausing for a moment, but I'm pausing with bated breath. I'm worried. Looks like Ixora is going to value this gun more than this round. And I think that that's probably the play. That was a little bit of a tight money round. That was some Spectres, that was maybe some Lights and things like that. Playing this round for the Vandal is not something that I'm not going to disrespect that choice. However, I do hope that everybody has saved enough to full buy this round, because this will probably be one of the last rounds that we're able to full buy. There's going to be a timeout from UAH. This is really interesting because usually the timeouts come in order to sort of stop momentum, and they just simply are not. They were actually starting to get momentum. They went 2, they went 3, and before they start their game that would make them 5 and 4, they decide to stop it. Really, really interesting. It could be something happening just within team that they're noticing, and they're like, I really need to get this across. This timeout's going to be worth it. This is some information that we all need to sit on. Maybe a new strategy or something like that. Maybe somebody spilled coffee on their lap. Who knows? These games do go pretty late sometimes. But either way, something that I have noticed from UAH is that they hold on to those ultimates. Omen ultimate is not a great ultimate, and so I understand not being able to really fit that into your play. But Breach ultimate and Viper Pit are massive. They're just sight denials. One's for aggression, one's for defense. They've been in these post-plant situations, and I suppose that they've won the past 2 rounds, so they haven't really needed to use them. But I don't know. I feel like you would maybe still consider it. No need to put so much on the line whenever you've got that ultimate that does it for you. Twice not able to get any with that budget sheriff round. Sora able to full buy on this one with the Vandal that he saved. Everybody else running pretty light here. Handguns and lights for most, it seems. But that doesn't matter. Snom's going to pick up that Vandal. 2 of our players are now kitted. Ooh, Sora not able to find that head tap and go for another try. Clearing out all the popular spots. Whisper, of course, does just have the sheriff. There's the giant laser beam. You have to make sure to avoid that. Gonna be kind of difficult to go onto the site with just sheriffs and 1 Vandal. Ixora gets one and then gets taken out. That's one of the smokers down. Ooh, the flash goes up. Snom is able to get that breach, make it a 1v1, but time is running out. That Omen blind doesn't hit. I think it's time for Snom to get out of here. I think this is a bit too late for this bomb. Nice. That's really nice. Is that Omen was not able to make it out of there in time. Omen was not able to preserve their rifle. And, you know, it's just going to cost them a little bit more money. They did win, so it's not going to be breaking their bank that much. But it's still something. Chipping away is better than letting them just idly get more money. It is 5-4 with a little bit of a comeback. As we've seen, it was, I believe, 4-1 and then 5-2. Could be wrong. As we see that breach utility going out, just going to stall them while Whisper terrorizes with the nade a little bit. Once again, pushing forward. This play I really like. I really like this play that they've been running to where they send Rays really deep so that Whisper can just almost sit and watch them. And almost like an antithesis to that, they're letting Pierogi and oh, nice. Pierogi able to get one with the mosh pit, and then one with the rifle. Snom able to get the jet. Everybody's gonna rotate over to C. Pierogi a little hurt. Gonna have to play this a little bit carefully. Snom has this rifle and knows that they're gonna have the advantage here. Peek, unfortunate, not able to get one, but Pierogi's able to clean it up with the triple.
You did good.
Sorry, what I was saying there was on A, we run the Rays and we run the Rays really deep. We run her all the way to where they're going to have to walk out, throwing the nade in order to stall them, throwing the concuss in order to stall them. But on C, we play that KJ, and then we play the Gecko. And the Gecko and the KJ kind of sit back a little bit. Gecko can bounce that utility off of walls. KJ doesn't have to be there. It has to be in the vicinity, but doesn't really have to be there in order to do that. Looks like we've swapped a little bit. Maybe throwing the KJ onto A in order to sort of, if Whisper were to fall, it's not just, oh, A site's free. And of course, as soon as I start talking about this strat, they've swapped it up entirely. Whisper gonna throw that nade, try and just get that utility damage. Unfortunately, Whisper's not gonna have any boom bot or nade for the upcoming fight, as they were used to try and stall the team. But now the team is sort of compressing on A. They might be going for a little bit of a rotate. Sora maybe looking for something beyond that Viper wall. The team opting to rotate over to B, maybe even far enough to C. UAH really unsure of what site to push here. They have Chamber on C, Omen on A. If center decides to get aggressive, that Omen is still there to deter them. But it looks like a lot of them are going to be pushing on to C. It's just Snom. It's just Snom, and Snom's not even really on site.
30
Jet
seconds left.
Dash goes out. It's definitely heard. Snom gets concussed, but the concuss onto the chamber in order to maybe save Snom's life from the operator right here. Oh, the TP out. Oh, but the bomb? Sorry. I thought that was bomb planted, got stopped, but it did get off before Snom was able to get that pick. Holding this door is Chamber just looking at the far side of this door. Whisper can maybe get around this. Thrash goes out. He's looking for more, but Rogi just maybe overextended a little bit. Wingman goes out to maybe recon some of this Viper's pit a little bit. Flash sees nothing, and they also get Viper. Whisper has to play this really weirdly, playing in and out of the wall. Oh, Whisper may be a little bit of a cheeky blast pack tech, and
Last round in the half.
yeah. I'm afraid we got blasted a little bit there. Went for a little cheeky blast pack tech that didn't get pulled off to perfection there. So that was a really big utilization of ults. That Astra wall came out, and it actually ended up being a little bit of a hindrance on Whisper, as Whisper needed to push onto the site from outside of that Astra wall. It's unfortunate that that's just the way that it fell, as the Astra wall was walling off the operator that was looking onto site, but you know, it's typically one of the things that you hope never happens, that you have to push through an Astra wall. We'll say this is last round. Last round of this half. 6-5. Snom takes out the Viper. A good start. If Center's able to win this, they can get the lead, but if they lose this, then it'll be tied going into halftime. Twicestand one away from ult. Twicestand is able to get either an ult point or a kill. Ooh, nice. Pierogi able to get the chamber down. Like I said, if Twicestand is able to get one more point, that'd be a really big lockdown for the end of this half. Those knives are out, though. Not sure if you really want to challenge that. Able to get one. Looking for that lockdown. Instantly throws in the lockdown. They have to be aggressive on Twicestand. Able to take out the Jet. Able to take out the Omen. It's a really nice 3K from Twicestand. A big thing in these games, in just Valorant in general, is you can have all these strategies, and you can flash, and you can concuss, and you can do all these things. But you want to know what another really good strategy is? Throw a bunch of colors onto their screen and make them just not understand what's happening. Throwing down a KJ ultimate, even if there's not even that much time in the round, if everything that will happen before that KJ ult goes off, or if you can easily get it, I don't know. It's going to throw a bunch of flashing colors on the screen. It's going to throw them off a little bit. Grant saving us there. Grant. Appreciate that. But just things like weird smoke placements or weird flashes that just make you have to do a double take or really not comprehend what's happening, I feel like is just as good as a flash.
Placing swarm grenade.
Able to set up even though they're stuck in this chamber slow. They throw that KJ setup. I'm curious to see if they plant for Mound. Ooh, that's just a lot to peek into. Yeah, these fights are not typically what you want with all the utility just sitting in a box as they fill it with pins. There's somebody peeking through the wall, not able to get it. Rogi not able either. Twicestand, the only one left. Just looking for picks. Ooh, the head tap, not able to get it. Everybody's so hurt. You could just smack the Omen in another life, and Omen would fall. It's really unfortunate, but we go 7-6. Still have the lead. That is pistol round for them, which means that this is probably going to get evened up. However, Center is known for being pretty good with the pistols, despite losing the most recent pistol round. But I stand by that. I think that a lot of these rounds, you have the pistol round, and we just play really quick, run up on you. Classic right click is really a man's best friend in a lot of these cases. They're going to be running a pretty typical force buy. However, there is going to be an outlaw on A, so if they manage to go A, it's going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage, but if they can make that outlaw rotate, that's going to be really nice. They get the ult point, and it looks like it's time to rotate. Hopefully they choose to go into B, as there's a lot of reinforcements behind A. Twice Stand making a little bit of an entrance onto B. B hopping past. So much to look at. You have 2 in the destructible door. You have 1 in the A entrance. Whisper now peeking that Omen in the A entrance. I don't know if that's seen. Whisper not seeing the Jet outlaw, not foreseeing that. I don't think anybody sees the Omen at the moment.
Last player standing. Spike down A.
It is now just Twice Stand. Has to get bomb and basically kill 5. Not expected, but maybe something can be gained. If the outlaw were to push and the outlaw were to be obtained by Twice Stand, that would be quite nice. Able to take out the Omen. Yeah, just blind firing. That's probably the best as you're gonna get. Just hard flashed, standing in a corner. But able to get the Omen. That was nice. That went from a flawless to able to take one with you. No shame in that. 7-7. No ults are on the board yet. Previously, we did have a really nice set of ultimates going into around round 3, but that was because of a 4K from Twice Stand. Once again, that was our side. So now we move on to the uphill battle. This is going to be not in our favor. Everybody's slow pushing forward. That Astra utility might give them away, so it's kind of important to use it the last second. The stars go out. It's time to push onto the site before anybody rotates. Oh, but that Viper vulnerable goes out. Twice Stand on the site. Already setting up. Really, the faster you can set up, the better. A little bit hurt from these mollies. He's gonna hold up top while everybody else takes their positions. Destructible door, things like that. Oh, the unfortunate just guess into the smoke. Chamber's able to TP away. Looks like there's a lot up top. Able to take out the Omen, but Snom does fall to the Viper. Whisper in this little room can't really help on sight. Gonna have to peek through a lot. Yeah, really just a not bad positioning, but a bad position to be in, if that makes sense. That's an absolutely fine place to hold, because if anybody comes up behind you, you will be able to hear it, and you have a pretty decent sight of the bomb. But just not really able to capitalize off that if they just get full sight control. I'm trying to think about what could be different. I suppose maybe just the downside is lack of smokes. You know, we have Snom able to really smoke off these sites, but it's a telegraph smoke. It makes a lot of noise. Sometimes they don't turn into smoke. Sometimes we decide to use them for concusses or things like that. Well, they have double smokes. So, ooh, nice. Twice Stand able to get 1, able to get 2. Second one being a trade, and then gets traded himself. 3-3, and that operator is still on the table. I don't know if this is wise to push into the operator, even with smokes, especially with just a ghost. But sometimes hubris can pay off. Ooh, Whisper not quite hitting those shots. Snom does fall to that off, unfortunately. Operator's still there. Can Pierogi take out the operator? Because the Whisper cannot, unfortunately. Able to take out 1. Gonna flash. Take out the operator. Ooh, I tried to speak it into existence. I tried to speak out that operator, and then it happened, but I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. This defense has been, this attack has been a little bit rough. Haven't won, have we? No. Have not won a round yet. And they have a lot of momentum. They have operators. They are full buying rifles, and we're really trying to pick something up here. I'm not quite sure. I was trying to pinpoint what the difference might be, and I was really just looking at comps. I have no idea. I have no idea how you could play this differently. This one's got me a little stumped. Ooh, spraying through the smoke. Whisper just taking a little bit of damage there. Just I'm not exactly sure if there's one back there. Ooh. Sort of trying to bait with the ult orb, and does get traded, but, you know, it's not ideal. Xora able to sort of 1v1 this Viper. Hopefully Xora can pull it off. Nice! It was like a cool edit where you get the headshot and you instantly go to somebody else. It was a cool edit, so I don't mind it too much. Ooh, it looks like a collat from the Jet. That Jet is incredibly hurt, and so Xora is going to have to fight through 3. 1 hurt, 1 with ult. I'm unsure if Xora needs to stick this. Okay, on one hand, you could get momentum for your team. You could maybe win, but you have to pull off a triple. It's not that I don't think Xora can do it. It's just into the operator, them knowing where you are.
30 seconds left.
Having to jump peek out. That Jet knows. That Jet knows exactly where you are. And just having to maybe get that pick right there. And is going to try and maybe bait the door and go through it. Not baiting it. Has bomb. Needs to get bomb down and then get 2.
10
Going
seconds
to plant
left.
in a pretty standard spot. That is concuss out, but that doesn't really matter. Going to back up. A little bit blinded. That's a lot of utility that they burnt and didn't get to play off of. Omen there. Not able to get it. Can't blame him. Can't blame him. That was a 1v3 into an operator. Able to get the operator, able to get bomb down, and just couldn't get the other 2. And I don't think anybody expects Xora to there. A lot of these rounds are getting pretty close. Some of them are less fortunate than others. That last round there was, I believe, a collat with the operator. You never want that. Of course, you never want to die. It's a given. But if the operator takes out 1, the second person can usually take the operator out and maybe even take the operator for themselves. But if the operator takes out 2 in a single shot, that is, I don't know, like buy 1, get 1 free, and it's not great. You never want your enemies to have sweet deals from the bargain bin. Coach won't unmute. Confusing. Not sure what's happening. A little bit of technical difficulties. Not 100% sure on what's happening, but I will say we do know that the Jet has knives, but the Jet also had enough money to buy another op, or maybe the op was saved. Not quite sure, but just knowing that that close round didn't exactly give them that much of an advantage is a little bit scary. I am uncertain. This is the second week in a row that we've had a tech pause, and we've had to fill the air. I don't think that this one will be as long as the other one, so I won't ask you.
This is also a fire alarm, so.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
What are the odds?
What are the
I
odds?
feel like pretty low.
Yeah. Well, I can talk about Valorant for a little bit, or if you want, we can instantly go into one of our absolutely riveting segues. But I will talk for a little bit. Once again, that Omenal, not super important, so I understand not pulling that out. But with the Jet knives can come out at any time. Jet knives can come out on a full buy. Jet knives can be a budget round. And right now, it doesn't look, whenever you're UAH, it doesn't really look like they've got that budget round coming up anytime soon. They got plenty of money, and they've got that momentum. So it's, you're really thinking, man, do I just use these knives? Do I just use these knives to get us to round 11? I've got the operator that can get us to round 12. You start thinking about ultimates in terms of 1 rounds and things like that. Yeah, this is unfortunate that this has happened twice to the same team. Not UAH, but I mean Center. This is the second tech pause because of a fire drill that we've had. So Grant,
Yes.
I've come to a realization
Hmm.
that citrusy fruits, such as lemons and limes, uh, are pretty decent, just raw. I'm kind
Yeah.
of a fan.
Okay.
I
As
I
opposed to cooked.
No, as opposed to like on things, like a
Okay.
lime on your tacos
Yeah.
or lemon in lemonade.
I don't find myself just eating a lemon.
I often don't either, but I recently did, and it was more pleasant than I thought it was going to be.
Is it pleasant for the enamel on your teeth that's no longer there?
I suppose not. It was a slight bit painful, but I feel like no more than maybe your first time eating a pineapple, and the way that that's pretty acidic.
I don't know, man. I feel like a lemon could strip paint in a way that a pineapple could not.
I suppose you're correct. I'm just saying that it wasn't as
Was
unpleasant.
was it like a sweet lemon? I think those exist. Is that what Meyer lemons are? I'm really not a lemon expert.
I have no idea. I was handed a lemon and I was told to eat it, so I took a big old bite out of it. I did peel it first to ensure that it was not plastic or rotten. But uh, speaking of lemons and limes and things like that, it's weird that orange doesn't fall in a similar category.
Of
like-
being kind of gross.
Sure.
Eat alone.
Of being more like a supplementary citrusy fruit. It's weird that orange is an outlier.
No, 'cause there's situations where like orange or orange zest is like
Sure.
a decorative thing to add or flavor used
Right.
similar to the others.
Just I don't know. People don't usually pour orange onto various different well, I guess you kind of do drinks with like orange juice, but I'm thinking about like lemon in tea or lime on foods,
Yeah,
things like that.
that's fair. I like orange zest and stuff.
Yeah.
Like baking.
I like it, but I don't like doing it because I feel like, lemon zest. I have this whole lemon, and you're now making me zest it, and like it doesn't use the whole lemon, and I just have like a part of a lemon. How I feel about onions a lot of the times. It's very rare that a recipe calls for a full onion. What am I gonna do with a third of an onion?
Cook something tomorrow.
I suppose.
That's a fair point. I put mine in a little plastic bag.
Yeah.
You know.
I just feel like you're always working in fractions with onions. It's probably one of the more annoying vegetables to cook with.
Now I like to caramelize an onion through a process that takes roughly an hour of my day away. But those, you start with a whole onion, and by the end you've got a very small amount
Sure.
of dehydrated brown slivers. And so I always use a whole onion because I'm not wasting all that labor.
Right.
You
You gotta do the whole onion.
If my little pan could fit it, I'd do too.
I need to get you a bigger pan, notice.
I do have a big pan, but the one I use for onions
Sure.
is small.
I wonder if that's like, because I understand that there are probably different names for each pan, but I've seen many a different pan sets in my life, and they always seem to be pretty similar in size. Like you'll have the one that's like this big. I can't think of how to explain that to somebody who isn't looking at me and is just listening via audio.
It's about yay big. About yay big.
Like the small pan that you maybe used for like an egg or something like that. Maybe a grilled cheese. If you imagine
Yeah,
a grilled cheese pan, that pan. I feel like I see many of that pan. I don't know. They've just got like predetermined sizes, but I've never heard like, oh, this pan is meant for this or this pan is meant for that.
I'm sure there is some sort of terminology, but
Right.
beyond like a frying pan versus a saucepan or something like that, which is
Yeah,
perhaps even more about the depth,
the
than
volume
the width.
that it would be able to withstand.
I'm not totally sure. Someone knows though.
Someone does.
Someone knows.
You-
What size would you use to fry this egg?
If it was a singular egg, probably the small one.
I'm not frying an egg that has feelings.
Oh,
Moist.
you said which? Oh, I've been duped. Gone, evaporated. Are you a big cook?
No, I'm here every evening, so I never cook or make dinner ever.
Grant, one of these days I need to cook for you. I'm a big cook. I like cooking.
You can find a day I'm free ever. I mean, you just let me know.
I mean, there's a very decent chance it's spaghetti in the lounge. There's a very decent chance that you're eating it at your desk.
Are we gonna cook it on an overheating computer, or like where are we?
There's ovens. Yeah, it might have to withstand a 6-minute walk from my dorm to the center. To the center. Not what I meant to say. I believe they asked if there was a time limit on how long they could preserve this. That also might just be them asking, like, how long are we willing to put up with this? This is also party chat. They will not hear this whenever you hit enter. Yeah, I don't. I feel like we're all in agreement that if a fire alarm were to go off in the current building that we're in, we would want a little bit of leeway. We would want them to, you treat your neighbor as you want to be treated, and we want to give them that grace. And in doing so, I'm desperately trying to think of another thing to talk about. You're a big tea guy. You're big on teas.
Yeah, I just sort of decided one day when I was working at King's that drinking tea makes you better than other people.
And I would agree with you.
It's not that I thought it like tasted good. I mean, it's hot leaf water. That's like a little bitter, like maybe a little astringent. It wasn't like scrumptious, but I forced myself to enjoy it because it's just nice to have a thing in your hand.
It's almost like a spite thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm drinking tea for all the wrong reasons, but I've grown to enjoy it.
I feel like that's like almost like a stereotypical British, like, oh, drinking tea with your pinky up to be fancy. I'm better than all you plebeians and things like that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Much. It's a big flex for someone to come by and you can offer them tea. And they'll never say yes because no one likes tea and it's gross.
Not a soul.
I like that I can offer. I think
Sure.
that's a huge flex.
This may be the equivalent of, I don't know, some sort of Zoomer opinion. Me and my friend very much enjoy the Arizona iced teas. I'm not sure that they're quite comparable, but very big fans.
I enjoyed some, mucho mango, which is pretty much just a bottle of like hummingbird feeder juice. When I was, in my youth.
Try not to laugh directly into the microphone.
You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mango.
I'm a big fan of mucho mango. Yeah.
It's like a quantity that the European mind could not comprehend of juice flavored sugar. And I think it's pretty great. It's very affordable. I'm not necessarily recommending it.
Sure.
Yeah, but I like that. I didn't really drink the teas as a kid, but my brother would drink like the one that's got tonic water in it, and I think that's
Herbal tonic?
sure. That sounds
A
right.
favorite.
Really,
A favorite of
to
mine.
me that sounds horrible.
It's not great.
It's not great because I think tonic water is disgusting.
It's really, it's really dependent on what gas station you get it from. I've had I've had many a different Arizonas, and just half the time people don't like Arizona, and that thing's been sitting on the shelf for quite a while. And the herbal and the tonic really start to separate, and
You think?
and it just doesn't
Oh,
come
does
back
it-
together.
It doesn't.
You can
separate.
try. You can try to shake it, but it just
Oh.
not with ease necessarily. And you can definitely taste. You definitely taste it. It's not great, but it does it. It does that with the Arnold Palmer as well. Big fan of the Arnold Palmer. Probably my favorite. If that.
Well, that's just a killer combination.
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
versus like herbs, yay, malaria medicine. What? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's what the other
It's
one
got
is.
it's got like a pineapple medicine taste to it. It very much it's like a this kind of hurts a little bit more than I think it should. And it doesn't taste great, but it has a funny name and I don't know if it has caffeine in it at all. I think it says Energy Plus on the bottle, but I don't know what that means. And anytime that we need to stay up a little bit later, we'll say, I need to make the drive back. I'm gonna get me an herbal tonic. And I think there's no proof behind it being caffeinated or having any sort of energy to it.
Only if I were preparing to like trudge through a swamp in sub-Saharan Africa would I consider drinking tonic water on purpose.
I'm unsure if it is genuine tonic water, but it sure does have
Oh,
a
so
name.
it's flavored.
It's called
like,
herbal tonic. That's just the title.
okay.
Um, but no, I've had fruit punch, mucho mango. Fruit punch is all right. It's a little bit too sugary. It's a little bit too sugary.
Which
for
one's
me.
too sugary?
Fruit punch, the purple one.
Yeah, I think they're all a little too sugary for my current tastes.
Mm-hmm.
As a person who's drinking hot leaf juice with a little bit of honey.
Sure.
Here's a fun fact for the people at home. The honey in my office, which has become crusty and disgusting, I stole it from B.O.B. Hip hop artist B.O.B. That's his honey. He took it.
I might be a youngin who don't know nothing. Who is B.O.B.?
Do you remember in 2014 owning anything that connected to the radio?
Sure.
That's B.O.B.
Okay.
He performed at Carnival last year. If we had got him in 2014, I mean, that'd be impressive because like
Sure.
he was a big deal. But he's cheap now after all that like flat earther stuff he got into. Which is weird. His biggest song's called Airplanes. It's like if you're talking about airplanes, how can you be a flat earther if you're like Ben in airplanes?
Yeah, that's
And like
pretty
you didn't go
interesting.
off the edge. I'm sure he's done a tour in Australia and didn't like fall
Yeah,
into the void.
I'm sure. Um, yeah, that's I've just been graced with a bunch of knowledge that I did not have prior.
Well, it's his honey, because he requested organic honey as part of his like craft services table,
Hmm.
and I was helping our friends in student life out at the event, and then they were like, "You could take some snacks if you want," and I took way too many snacks, like a lot of this food I took home because I was doing a nice favor and not being paid for it, so it's okay.
Sure,
It's okay.
sure.
It's fine
Yeah.
that I did that. I'm not admitting to a crime, but I do have B.O.B.'s stolen honey in my office.
I will
He didn't
say
even open it. Like he wasn't gonna use it.
I am an intern for BOB. I've been planted here, and I'm gonna need some sort of recompensation. And the interest over the years has really scaled this up. I'm gonna need at least like a paint tin of honey now.
I took his organic fruit snacks too.
No.
He requested like organic honey and organic fruit snacks.
I mean, when in Rome,
Right.
when BOB is in your presence, you do as BOB does, and eat organic honey and fruit snacks. What combination did that go into?
Well, again, this was just a huge pile of snacks for like him and his groupies.
Just chugging honey? Just
Well, the honey is it's you give them like a huge list. Here are all the things I might want to eat.
I see.
Me and my people who are with me might want to consume. And you just honor that as a part of your contract.
Sure.
You make sure all those things are there. And one of those things was organic honey and like throat coat tea in case he had like a sore throat.
Sure.
He didn't. He doesn't eat or use most of the things that are. But that's not like unique to him.
That it's more of
Um,
just did you read the contract? Are you
Yeah, you've read the list, you've prepared your things, and you kind of put that in what they call a green room. In our case, the green room was the Center College Grace Doherty Library, but whatever. Same diff. It was just a little cart full of snacks.
sure? I've heard of bands being incredibly sort of nitpicky about their things because it's sort of like, are you paying attention? Are you reading the contract? Don't remember what band. Don't remember where I got this. There's very decent chance this is a lie. I'm lying to you right now. There was a band that said that they wanted a bowl of M&Ms with all of the green M&Ms removed, and like placed in a separate bowl.
I've heard this as like some sort of urban legend.
That
Is
might
this,
be.
Is this a real person who's asked for this?
I believe it is like either a person or a band. I could be wrong, but it's sort of just, did you go through all the trouble to do this incredibly tedious task? Because if you did, you probably did all the other things. But yeah, I'm a big fan of honey. I think that honey's quite nice. I think that it's kind of difficult to incorporate it into a lot of my meals, but I think that when I can, the occasional, a nice summer's day, and I'm looking to have some pear slices and some honey.
Oh, that could be lovely.
Yeah. Don't often have all three of those events line up. Having pears, having honey, and the time to, or just caring enough to do that. Very decent chance that I perhaps barbarically just take a bite of a pear and then just squirt the honey into my mouth because I don't feel like, being patient or anything like that.
You're welcome to admit that on air if you'd like. But no one asked you to.
No, yeah. I'm an open book. I'm an open book. What can I say? My parents listen to this, so, they already know.
Okay.
I waterfall it, of course.
That's respectful to the other
Yeah.
consumers in your household.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
It's really kind of you. Really thoughtful. All
Alright.
right. Well, our Overwatch team is starting their match.
Yes, I can hear
Over
them,
in the other room.
coming now. This is the first map, by the way.
Yeah.
We might be here a little late.
Close game. This could go the distance.
Will we make it to midnight? Great
I
question.
hope not. I'm hoping to go home at some point.
This is only a forfeit if they forfeit, or if we pull some sort of weird shenanigans. That would be kind of mean, and I don't think that we're looking to do that. Ooh.
I can look up the details for like how the rule book handles this. But right now we're just being chill because there's no reason not to be chill. But there are some rules in the rule book about like how long pauses go until maps start getting forfeited and stuff.
Sure.
I gotta look them up real quick.
Also, I believe somewhere in the chat it said that may not be a fire drill, may just be a fire. And I really hope that that's not the case. I hope that all the people at UAH are safe and nobody's in any real danger. Just annoying. Through the fire and the flames.
Ah, okay.
We may be restarting. ETA 2 minutes.
All right, looks like we're going to be booting back up. So it seems like it's just one student who's had a fire drill or actual fire in one dorm room. So they're playing in some separate buildings here. That is why the rest of them have been able to continue moving around, allegedly on fire.
Well, I'm glad that no one is on fire. Like I said, as much as I want to win, I do not want anyone to be burned in the process. Just to remind everyone of how this round is going so far, I don't believe that Center has been able to get a single round on this half, and hopefully, at least some of this tech pause was used to maybe reconvene and sort of think about what's going wrong and things like that. And sorry to UAH, but I also hope that pause maybe threw them off a little. Maybe they've been thrown out of whack. That's just because I want to win, though.
How unsportsmanlike of you to have a slight bias in this fight.
Yes. I will admit that I'm not the most I'm not the most even caster. I don't.
As the head coach of this program, I just hope both teams have fun.
Yes, yes. also, but you know, seeing 2-1 would be pretty nice.
I hate winning because it means the other team is sad.
You say that, but you have to walk out of this room and look at the heartbroken faces out there. You've never seen sad until you've seen Harp after a devastating loss, which does not happen often. But you know, he's got some real puppy dog eyes that'll hit you with.
I've seen devastation
Yeah.
in a great many people in this line of work. So it's part of the job.
But luckily, it is at the end of the day just a video game. And at least, well, I suppose not just a video game, but you know, there are no real world repercussions for losing this game. I feel like if you, I don't know, if you're a football player and you make a move incorrectly, you break your arm. And it's
No,
not.
that is kind of a good point.
Yeah.
All we can break here is egos.
Yeah. it's the mental fortitude that the esports player excel at. But yes, I hope that everybody's able to get back into this game as swiftly as possible so that we can maybe get to some homework before the day is over.
That would be nice.
Now, I need to say this now as Grant is worried, but I do not have any homework due tomorrow. Only homework due Wednesday. So, fret not.
Oh, I wasn't worried. That's a you problem.
Worried maybe that that I would throw him under the bus for letting me spend all my time here. But I think that the game should be resuming pretty quickly. They said that it would be around 2 minutes, and it feels like we've been stalling for an hour. So, no rush, of course. But now that you're not on fire, let's get some pep in that step. I'm joking, of course. You know, we could start another discussion topic, but I have a feeling that we won't be able to get all the way through it.
I don't know. This 2 minutes has been a pretty long 2
Yeah.
minutes.
Favorite band at the moment?
Not a band, but I've been listening
Artist.
to Björk.
Björk.
Yes. Listen to the entire studio albums of Björk.
Do you recommend them? Who would you recommend them to? If I'm a fan of X, I would like Björk.
I don't know. You might personally not be a fan of Björk, but
Sure.
you gotta listen to the album Homogenic. That's the best one.
All right. Logging that in there.
Yeah.
Logging that in the filing cabinet.
I think it's got a certain like timeless quality with this mix of kind of pop and avant-garde that I don't know, like I feel like if it was released yesterday, it would still
Sure.
it'd still hold up. It wouldn't sound like it's, from the 90s.
We are gonna start back up again. Björk.
Yippee!
That's everybody's homework is to listen to Björk.
Or don't, not for everyone, Not,
Yeah.
Not everyone.
Give it a shot. Homogenesis or whatever it was. As we push forward, pushing incredibly quickly. We've got Whisper instantly forcing out that chamber TP. The wall goes up. They're not going to be able to push through this very quickly. The nade can go out and maybe try and push that chamber back a little bit farther. Side control is now ours. Wingman is going to plant for Mound. Everybody else deciding to... Ooh, Snom on the flank. Snom on the flank. Ooh, Hez doesn't have the gun out at the correct time. Really unfortunate. There are 4 people, but we have a lot of big ults here. Thrash could be a heavy stall. We've got the pop-up that comes from Ixora's Breach ultimate, and Lockdown if we really need it. I think the Lockdown is looking to come out first.
You should run.
Pierogi looking to defend this while everybody else moves onto the site. Twice staying able to get one, but then gets traded. The Killjoy ult is still in play. The Thrash comes out. 1 player detained, which means that the other player needs to be thrashed. doesn't look like able to be thrashed. It's just Xora and Pierogi. Sorry, no, Xora falls there. But bomb goes out. Lovely. I was gonna say it was just Whisper and Pierogi. Once again, I do not have audio, so I did not know how close that bomb was. But that's gonna be a round for center, and I'm really glad to see it. Maybe just a little bit of, you know, I was just participating in a fire drill, so I'm a little bit out of it, but able to get center back on their feet a little bit, able to win their first round this half. Only a 2-round deficit, and only 4 rounds before we get into an overtime future. Once again, playing this pretty quickly. Gonna play on C. Realize that they play on A pretty heavy. So, playing onto C, they're gonna grab that ult point. Still have 2 really big ults. The Showstopper comes out. Snom not able to withstand that operator, but Whisper is able to get the Viper. Probably pretty hype about that one. The Showstopper is a pretty big hit or miss ultimate. Smoke's gonna go down and maybe reveal that chamber. Oh, Whisper does not know the chamber's on the left. Everybody deciding to play a little bit farther back. They can play for Mound here. Of course, the Breach ultimate on both sides will cause a lot of disruption. Really, whoever plays it first might just have the better hand here. Having to just concuss where you can. I believe that's both of those Breach ultimates are now out. They've smoked, so it's a little bit hard to tell if they're defusing. They started defusing, but had so many different players that they were able to just throw the rest of the people at center. And that's going to make it 8-11 in UAH's favor. I don't know how finances are going to be going into this last round. Or not last round, but one of these last rounds. I think that if you make your play just try and save here, then maybe you're a little bit closer to an ultimate on the next round, which would be last round if you were to lose. Or you can try and force buy. You know, if you get a pick with the Marshal, you can maybe grab a gun, and then even if you lose, you can maybe save it going into that last round. You save yourself a little bit more money. Whisper with the Bucky. If they decide to push this and go on the flank, then I'm certain that Bucky will stop them in their tracks. But unfortunately, that operator is going to stop Xora dead in his tracks. Twice Stand picking up the Marshal. And the operator taking out Snom as well. That's a lot of sort of mileage that they're getting out of that ultimate. It's 3-5. It's not unwinnable. Not just working with handguns, as the people who have fallen have dropped their guns of choice. Whisper does have that Bucky. Looks like we're going to try and reconvene on B. It is the sort of... I feel like this is probably the site you want to go to. If you go A, you still have to deal with the long range that is just walking to A. And if you go B, it's pretty compressed. We'll be able to run these handguns. We'll be able to run this Bucky. And still have a little bit of a longer sight for the Marshal. Nice. It's a really nice pick onto the Viper right there. Head tap to start this fight. Twice Stand looking to get another. I don't think that's going to be pushed, though. Unfortunately, Whisper is taken out by the operator in flank.
Last player standing.
And then another operator from another angle. This is going to go 8-12. UAH's favor. Now, center is going to have to win every round in order to take it to overtime. No chance of losing here. Has to be able to pull it out. That is 4? Yes. 4 rounds in a row that they're going to have to win. And I'm not super sure that money is on their side with this one. I'm sure some people are going to have to go maybe with a light shield here or foregoing some of their less useful utility. Omen has ultimate and Viper has ultimate. That's really big lockdown and really big rotation. Of course, I think that they're going to go for this quick play again, maybe just trying to maneuver out of the way of this chamber here. A nice burst through the box, able to sort of push chamber back, but The rest of the team is going to rotate pretty quickly. They're going to have to push onto the site fast. And that utility Whisper's going to blast back on and get maybe thrown off a little bit by that by the puddle. Throwing the nade deep. Snom's going to try and contest Waterfall. Nice, gonna throw that utility in order to try and get out. Now that they've made the whole team rotate to C, they're gonna try and get out of there. They're gonna try and just get up and out of there. Whisper's gonna stick it though. They don't know that Whisper's still on site. And ooh, maybe they did know that Whisper's still on site. That's unfortunate. Whisper getting taken out, but Stand also gets taken out as they left one on A. That operator is deadly. Ixora not quite sure how to peek this. Knows that there's other places that they could be. Oh, take out the classic. Nice. Of course, that is a loss, but at least you didn't get styled on. I feel like that's almost a fine trade there. This is going to be our first map. That is Lotus. Next, we are going to go to Sunset. See everybody on Sunset. This scoreboard right here, I think, is really interesting. Now we sort of know who's a priority. Who do we need to focus on? What are they good at? Things like that. Moving on into the next few maps. But I think everybody's looking to maybe stand up and stretch their legs a little bit, so we will be back in just a moment. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Map 2. We are now on Sunset. Last map was Lotus. It did go to UAH, which is unfortunate for center, but I think that, you know, the first game you can learn a lot from, and then the second game you can turn into a win, and the third game you can turn into a nice series. I will say, I'm going to be a lot less confused now, as we do have a little bit more of a standard comp that we usually run. However, I don't believe I've casted a Sunset game before. I'm not super familiar with the names of spots on the map, so please forgive me if I just say in the cubby a lot. But we are going to be attacking. We are going to be the red team, if that confuses anybody. But we will have Snom on that nice Astra. I think that wall is something that Snom has down to a science, and can really just cut the team in half perfectly. And we've got Ixora on that staple Reyna. That Reyna that top frag. As we see off the gate, we've got Whisper proving his worth on that Jet, and Whisper and Ixora getting those first 2 picks off the rip. They're gonna plant instantly. Site control is ours, and site control is it's guaranteed. No sort of opposition. They're not quite expecting flankers here. Maybe Pierogi is a little bit, but nothing going through yet. A really fast speed onto site, and it does look like defense wants to keep that pace up. And I understand it. They're down. Oh, but that Cypher shows presence and instantly gets taken out. Viper comes out of the smoke. Snom in the middle of a reload. Really unfortunate, but Sora is able to take out that Viper. Twice stand, able to take out the Omen. Of course, you always want the flawless pistol round, but it's all right. It's all right. 4 up on a pistol round is always quite nice. But I think that, like I was saying, we've got those 2 staples. We've got the Whisper on Jet. Whisper's been really aggressive recently, so I think a really aggressive duelist like Jet could really complement that. Very attack-heavy comp here, but we also have that sort of supplementary get a pick and get out duelist mentality that we can run here, as well as the Cypher and the Sky stall. A really versatile team comp that we have going. Whisper looking to push forward with the Marshall, get a nice pick. But Snom and Ixora just clean up everybody on the right side. They're only sending 2 to A, and that's sort of just making it to where we just get that site. The duelist pressure is pretty insane this round. This game. Oh, that was nice. And all of that damage that the Omen did is instantly undone. That's why everybody hates Reyna, and that's why Reyna's my favorite character. Second favorite. Just if you're fighting against a Reyna, and the Reyna is 1v2, even if you hit her for 100 damage, and she has lights, she's just got a funny little button that she can click to heal right back up, and everybody despises it. Except for Reyna players. It's got to be one of the more annoying matchups to go into. Anyone versus a Reyna is quite annoying. But Sora makes that work, and I really love to see it every time. That's a nice body shot from Whisper. Whisper getting the second shot too. Get diff. Oh, taking out the Omen from behind. Rushing onto these sites and just hitting all of the flanks. They're wrapping around to the backside of the team, and they're just not expecting it. Maybe Center really has learned something about the playstyle and positioning of this team. They're gonna be able to play around it. Twice they may be stuck in that smoke a little bit. Ixora gonna ult instantly and pick up the Odin. Gonna take out 1 with the Odin, take out 2 with the Odin. That's a 3K. That's amazing. Busted out the Empress incredibly quickly. I don't see a reason to hold it. Ooh, that is a little. Oh, I'm not gonna comment on that, but that is a timeout on round 4. Timeout on round 4 is insane. Center has picked up the ball and it is rolling. And I think that UAH is looking to, hey, let's pump the brakes on this. They're getting way too much of a lead. You win the first pistol round, that's fine. You win the second, that's fine. We didn't really learn from that though. We didn't change our play style. And then third round, all right, we've got rifles. They go mid and instantly wipe out 2 of your players. One of their best players, might I add, that Jet top frag last round, or last map. Instantly took them out. Whisper really saying that, we can both have long range guns. We can both be in the same spot on the other end of mid, but I'm going to win. And that's something that you can't always say. And hopefully the team is able to keep up that mentality and ability to act on that as well. Still no ultimates, but the reason that there's no ultimates up is because Ixora already used his. You know, you've got 4 into 2. You could sit there and you could get a pick and maybe die, maybe get a second pick, or you can ult and make sure that you clean up shop. And I love that. I love that about Ixora. Just, you know, it's my ultimate. Or Reyna ultimate isn't exactly a team ultimate. I'm just gonna pop this. It looks like they've got pretty heavy presence on A. I don't mind that at all because we can rotate. You know, Center's already pretty well known for a rotate heavy playstyle. And it looks like we're already on B. Of course, Cypher's set up on B, but, you know, we've got players around the globe right now. They're not really sure where to play. They've backed up off of A. We could easily rotate to A. We don't know that, of course, but we could rotate onto A and have that site pretty free. It's time to make a decision. Looks like we might have some scuffle in mid here as the smoke nears its end. Showing presence on B. The team is probably going to want to back up and wait for reinforcements while Center just takes these sites. And I don't think that they're in the best spot financially. That Cypher has a classic. Snom is able to take out the Jet, but the Cypher is going to be able to trade. Still a 4-4, but that bomb is down. Twice-stand takes out 1. Gets traded. That's a nice headshot from Ixora. Still 2-2. Knows where they are, though. Since you know where they are, you almost have, you know, half the battle won. Knowing is half the battle. That's a lot of utility being popped that's not hitting. They're going to ping that bomb, and they're going to maybe spray it a little bit. Oh, the flank around! Once again! They just don't expect it. They cannot whip their heads around fast enough. That's insane. You just... I don't know. You almost show face on one side, and then instead of rotating to the other side like we normally do, we just rotate around. Sunset is just built for this. Sunset is built for the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 structure that it is, where there's almost like vents that you can like wander around in, and you can just creep and be a lurker without actually leaving the site. It's fantastic. It's really something that I don't know. We don't usually see the Sunset. Maybe it gets banned a lot, and this is why, because Center is nasty on Sunset. That breach is there. Is going to be able to concuss them. Peeking out is able to make that an even trade. It's 3-3 still. Granted, we are a little bit less. We're not as well off as they are with the smokers and the shutdown and things like that. We're gonna have to push onto the site pretty raw here. Not gonna have any flashes or smokes to block off sidelines. You will have Cypher smokes. What am I talking about? We have some. I'm insane. Whisper does get taken out, but ooh, looking for the Cypher.
Last player standing.
Unfortunate. Brogy not able to find the Cypher. I hope that is not a stop to that momentum. I was thinking that Snom had already used those stars. I apologize. I didn't mean to discredit her in any way, but you know, that's first round. That's the first round that they've won. That's a pretty good start. A really nice just boost forward. 4-1 in Center's favor. With Cypher ults on both teams, this might be a little bit of a, you know, everybody can see where each other is, so there's not going to be any sort of misinformation or things like that. And we might just be able to go straight in, go for the kill. Flash goes out and is able to maybe stall the A a little bit, but not sure if we want to push this too much yet. We're not full stacking anymore. We're sort of spreading people around. We've made presence on A, and they're sort of debating whether or not to play off of that presence or to instantly rotate. It looks like they're going to opt to instantly rotate as we take a more mid presence. Showing up on A isn't doing a lot whenever we don't know if they're going to stick that. So we've decided to show up on B, waiting for the rotates. Unfortunately, Omen is able to get Snom there. I think that Twice Dan is expecting somebody to pop through that door. Able to take out the Omen, not able to take out the Sky. We are still down 1. We do have that duelist favor there. 2 duelists can push onto a site pretty nice. Unfortunate, everybody's sort of peeking around each other. An incredibly scary game of Ring Around the Rosie. Nice, Ixora able to take out the Viper on A. There is another player on A, though.
30 seconds left.
And I have to take out this breach. You have to just assume that somebody's there. You have to.
Last player
Ooh,
standing.
even though you know, you have to guess that somebody's there, it's unfortunate. Sorry. Even though you know that somebody's there, you have to play it. If you can't get the kill, it's still unfortunate. But now, over the course of that round, almost every single player got ult. Save for the Snom does not have wall just yet. I believe he used it in a previous round. And Jet does not have knives. Might have used it in a previous round. I'm not quite sure. But pushing onto the site, I hope that we see some ultimates instantly pop, which we do. Whisper's gonna pull out those knives. Nick Sorta is gonna pull out the. Ooh, he's a little bit scary being revealed like that. Gonna need to get rid of that tracker. The knives are out from Whisper though. Whisper and Ixora are gonna be incredibly aggressive here. Ixora does get taken out. That ultimate isn't gonna be able to use that much, but it's a trade at the very least. I'm not quite sure if those knives are going to be in a well spot. We're not attacking anymore. We are now on the defense. So hopefully those knives can get a nice pick. Hopefully Whisper can do what he does best and just walk around and hit them when they don't expect it. Does look like they're going to push him a little bit head on. No utility, and no knives. I believe that's one knife, but not something you want to rely on. The concuss can look both ways. Not a great situation to be in, but Rogi's going to be able to get two, twice staying able to pick up a third.
Last player standing.
There's only one, and they have to defuse bomb, and I don't think there's enough time. That's nice. That's an attacker win. We kind of needed that to stop their momentum. Now, we're back on the upswing. We're able to buy rifles. I'm not quite sure if we'll be able to full buy with the heavies and things like that, but hopefully. I will say we got all of our ults last round, and we used all of our ults last round. Not an ideal situation, but I love the round secure. The momentum halt. Sometimes that's worth more than the ultimates. I think that's a sniper and operator looking down that site. Ixora's going to be able to pick that up, though. Almost walks into friendly Snom utility and just, unfortunately, sticks their head into a smoke. You've got this breach here on the right. Hopefully they can expect the breach. And expecting the breach doesn't necessarily mean a one fight. It's the nice Snom's able to take out the breach. I was just about to say, just because you expect it doesn't mean you're going to get the pick. Snom is now 2 away from ult. Snom is going to be our closest one to ult. I don't think that Snom's going to be able to get that ult before this next fight starts. But they're going to go for a rotate. It is still 3-3. Going to go for a rotate onto B. If they rotate onto B, then UAH is going to be playing a little bit of catch-up because they still have 2 players on A. Viper ultimate was used on A. Rotating is probably the correct call here. Granted, they need to be able to take this Cypher off of the site.
30 seconds left.
Omen ultimate gets shut down. Rogi does too. Whisper able to patch that up, make it a trade.
I got the spike.
They're gonna rotate, and while they're rotating, we have to fortify. We have to get that bomb down. We have to get Snom into a flank position. I absolutely love this playstyle. I love this playstyle that they've decided to adopt. Snom pushing forward. Just because Snom is a little bit behind doesn't mean that it can't be used, because while they're just sitting there not able to do anything, Snom is in their back. And now you need reinforcements. Nice. All that you need there is to sandwich them. You take out one and then instantly it becomes a sandwich. The way that we have been playing Sunset is fantastic. You really have to think about so much. With a lot of these different maps, you think about, oh, this site can see me, this guy can see me, this site can see me. What are all the different places that have a direct eyes on my location? But Sunset? Center's playing Sunset like I can see around corners because I'm just gonna run around the corner. It's a really strange sort of I don't know. Ooh, the dash goes out. Fortunately, Knives are able to get two, able to get Twice Stand and Whisper, and then Snom. Hopefully that doesn't turn into a 4K. Rogi able to get one. Ixora able to get another one. Rogi getting a third. It is now 1-2. This is not impossible, especially not if it's Ixora. If there's anyone I had my money on, it would be him. Gonna pick up the Vandal, and is going to unfortunately get taken out by the Thrifty. You know, I think that picking up the Vandal is definitely it's a call that you can make. But another call might just be throwing that Viper way off guard and rushing with the Spectre. It's a much closer range gun, and I don't know the exact comms about what was happening, of how much health she had, stuff like that. And honestly, I don't remember myself. It was quite a high-octane game, or high-octane play. We do have those big defensive ults now. We've got the intel that we get from Cypher Ultimate, and we've got the wall that we're going to get from Snom's Astra Ultimate. A little bit of a budget. We're running some Bulldogs here. But able to take out Viper. That's a really big player. We are down one, unfortunately. But we traded a Bulldog for a Vandal on one of our players. We're really deciding whether or not we want to stick the mid or if we want to go to A. Realistically, every time that we've rotated off of A, we've gotten B site. So they should be rotating a lot faster than they normally do. Twice Stand looking at the incorrect location, not able to turn around fast enough. It's 2-4, not impossible, but it is going to take some high coordination and some skill. Very high levels of coordination. We do have bombs, so that's really fortunate. No sort of presence on B yet, but they haven't fully cleared it, so you know they're not really deciding to go to any one site. They just know that we're mid. They know that we're mid and we could go to either site, so they're leaving one on mid and they're sort of keeping everybody else close to B. Sorry, one on A, everybody else close to B. I think that we're gonna get spotted a little bit here, but Pierogi's gonna make this a 2-3. Unfortunately, gets traded. Whisper is gonna have to take out 3 of them. Cypher up top sees the Cypher and is gonna wall bang. It's a decent amount of damage taken. He's to peek. Ooh, just a few too many people to look at. It's unfortunate, and the gap has been closed a little bit. Center is currently 6-4, and I think that nice. I think this is a good timeout. I was just about to say that. I think that this timeout is necessary because while halftime is even, halftime is going to be even no matter what. It's still, you want as much of a lead as possible. It is possible that Center gets away with an 8-4 halftime here. I'm not going to rule them out of that at all, especially if these ults are spaced out a little bit. I think a big detriment as to why the team dropped so many rounds sort of in a row there was because of that one round that we used 4. We used 4 ultimates in order to win a round, and it was really unfortunate. And, you know, you win the round, but you sort of, you drop it. You sort of drop the next handful of them. Ixora ultimate is kind of one of those ultimates that, you know, it's either make or break. And just the round that it was used, it was a little bit of a break moment. And that's no dig at Ixora because for every single kill that Ixora drops, Ixora has gotten another triple to make up for it. And I'm fairly confident that we're going to see another big play coming out of this Ixora ultimate. I think that we split a little bit more into mid B is going to be a lot healthier than splitting into A mid. I don't know, I feel like we've been having a little bit more luck on that B side. Of course, those pistol rounds on A we're going to scoff at. Fortunately, Ixora not able to get onto the site quite fast enough. Just a lot of utility being thrown out. That Cypher has that site locked down. And now's when we start to consider that rotate. Snom only has a Sheriff and is going to try and play a cheeky little flank. But is going to get pinged, has to play fast, and just thinks there's one on the left when they're on the right. It's really unfortunate. Ooh, the ping and the concuss boat at the same time. Whisper needs to try and get a pick here. Can't quite find one. Twice Stand looking for a kill. Can't find it. An unfortunate flawless, but hopefully can turn it into a 7-5.
Last round
If
before
not,
the switch.
no worries, no stress. It's going to be a 6-6. Now, I cannot recall whether or not this was our pick. At all. I think it was our pick. Because the last map, it was our side. So this is our pick. With how math works, I think I'm correct. If this is our pick, then that means that the second half is going to be a little bit better for us. Which I really like I really like the thought of. You know, you're even at halftime and the second half is going to be better. I always like that. That wall comes out. The wall comes out, Xor is going to get instantly ultimate. Nice, that Cypher gets taken out. You're going to use that to peek through the wall. Not sort of overextend too much. But they're going to have to rotate into a wall and Xor's Empress ultimate. Xor probably wants to look to get another one here, try and extend that ultimate. Hope one goes flank, and one is going flank. Like bait. Just the worm is on the hook, and Xor wants another one. Xor does get one, but falls in the process. Pierogi gets another.
Remaining.
Lovely just set of headshots from Snom. Twice Stan gets paranoid there. Omen is on site. The only one on site, and Omen's gonna have to, at low health, get a 3K. And there's no way you're doing that when Twice Stan's got you in his crosshairs. I think that, hopefully that bomb does go off.
Switching
Okay.
sides.
Oh, well, it's halftime. It doesn't matter. Never mind. But this half, I think, is a decent chance that it goes in Center's favor. I know that that was a really strong attack side. It was a really, really strong attack side. But, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the defense is even crazier. I'd really like to see that. I'd really like to see us just pull out all the stops on this defense and be able to just full stop, win the next handful of rounds. You know, like I say, you win pistol, it ends up being just this big snowball that wins you a handful more. But it looks like a pretty default setup to where you've got 1 in mid, 2 on A, and then 2 on B. Whisper getting ping there. Gonna need to try and get out, but that ping is just gonna reveal you in that smoke. Xor decided to back up. Sort of knows from how they played that staying on that site's not gonna get you anything but death. A little bit hurt, but that's nothing that can't be healed.
Spike planted.
The flash is gonna go out, and they're gonna look to push off of it. I'm just making sure that nobody hits them from behind. They're gonna use that util. The Astra utility comes out, and Xor is looking for somebody on site. They're gonna have to push through these smokes. Ooh! The Cypher is almost looking at each other. Nice. Xor able to get one, heal off of it, get another one. He's gonna be able to heal off that one. No more heals, no get outs. What Xor gets is what Xor gets.
One enemy
That's
remaining.
one. That's nice. Xor does get taken out there, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because we've defused the bomb. That's really nice. They only had one. It was their top frag, so we needed to play careful. Instead of being aggressive, we played defensive. We took out the bomb. There's nothing that Jet could have done against 3 players, all looking at the same entryway. That was wonderfully played pistol round, and as you can see, the advantage that pistol round gives you, we're running around with bulldogs and marshals and stingers. Not stingers, specters. It's not comparable, and I think that winning that pistol round, especially on second half, is just such a catalyst for just securing a win. Securing a win. Not that this is a necessarily one game by any means. Whisper again getting pinged and having to back up. Playing into this is really weird with just how aggressive they're being. Xor does fall as well. They have no duelist to play this off of. That Omen is down. A little bit of damage coming out from
Spike
Snom.
planted.
Really, they're going to throw some util her way. Going to throw that smoke, going to cut them off. They're either going to have to flank or push through smoke, and I don't mind that. There is one behind. Hopefully Snom isn't caught too off guard. Hopefully Pierogi isn't either. Unfortunate Twice Stain falls. From behind. That's a lot of damage, though. Nice, taking out that Cypher. Has to take out 3. Snom's got a lot of health. And there's 1. And there's 2. And there's the 3rd. A wonderful play from Snom. cleaning up that round. That was a scary round, but that's all right. We still have a second in 0.72, whatever that is, milliseconds, nanoseconds. I have no clue. But you know, like I think that you have that pistol round, and then you go into the second round. It gets sketchy. For Snom to pull out the triple. Is absolutely critical. And, you know, you never want one teammate to have to do something like that. But if you want somebody to do it, Snom on Astra's a pretty good deal. Pretty good deal for trying to get that triple. We are now 9-5.
Obscuring vision.
Popping those smokes. Ooh, Whisper with the Bucky round. Snom is going to fall in mid, but the Bucky round is going to make up for it. Oh, so sad. By the way, can you see that Viper's health? That Viper's health is absolutely terrible. You know, you get hit with a buckshot at the end of a room, you'd be gone. Eviscerated. Just a little bit too much to look at there from Pierogi. Understanding that Molly as well. Vulnerable is not something that is great for your health. You know, you got one really clutch round. You're allowed to have a round like that to where, you know, maybe you just drop the ball a little bit. But it's all right. Still have a 3-round lead. 3 rounds in order to secure an overtime, and 4 rounds to win it. But it's gonna take 6 in order to get to OT from UAH. I'm really curious as to what the plan is. Is it just default hold? Is it the quick rotate? You know, like, what are we working with? Xora does have ultimate and is probably going to pop it this round, considering that they are low on the heal. Ooh, not able to get that one. Gonna throw that blind just for a stall so that they can get out. And just gonna skedaddle. Just gonna, you know, click his heels and get out of there. Ooh, not able to get out fast enough. Jett has been an absolute terror this whole game and formidable foe. Something you have to be careful of. Twice stand, looking to peek onto the site, but that wall is just a little bit of a nuisance. A lot of Brim utility going out. Presence from a lot of different angles, and of what they've been known for on this map. Hopefully take out this Omen for the concuss, not able to take him out. Omen falls as well. Twice stand able to get one, but it's up to Twice stand to finish off the rest of them. Ooh, unable to get the Cypher or the Breach. Both very close. There's a team ace. I don't know if that does anything. I don't think it does. I think it's just a cool voice line that the Valorant people get to make. But, you know, I feel like we're maybe falling to the same tricks. We're maybe falling to the same tricks a little bit. There's a few different plays that we're making that are getting us almost every round. But, hopefully we can learn. I think that these ultimates gonna be pretty big. Xora wasn't really able to pop theirs that round. Not really given that good of an opportunity. If Xora pops this round, it definitely is gonna be an earthquake of an ultimate. The knives come out. Rogi does follow the knives. This is where you maybe want to hold. You maybe want to play for the future. Twice stand is also down. Maybe we don't want to pop that wall. Don't want to pop that Xora ultimate. Able to hit Omen in the chest with the Marshall, but not enough damage. Looking for a pick and then to get out. Yeah. There's a gun. Let me go sit on A site. Let me go check to. I think I left my oven on or something like that. Forgot my keys at home. Need to go check that out. You know, there's a decent chance that UAH always gets aggressive off of this in order to try and get that last pick, considering that they are up the past few rounds and 3-1, or 4-1 rather. But hopefully just able to stall for a little bit so that we can secure this Vandal going into the next round. Now they have evened it up a little bit. They've evened it up. It is now 9-8, Center's favor. Twice staying going to call that timeout. I think that's great. Last time there was you know, we needed to call a timeout, and because they won a few rounds, we needed to call a little bit of a just like, hey, you know, let's stop this momentum. Stop a little bit of this momentum. I'm not a huge fan of it. And this one, they've got a lot of momentum. They got a lot of momentum, and they're gonna have to reconsider their play style, reconsider what moves are they making, what moves are the enemies making, and how can we really play around that. What you want to do in every timeout. That's really just the what are the patterns? What are we seeing? What can we play around? And I think that they're gonna be discussing how they want to play the next handful of rounds. Even if this does go to overtime, if it goes to overtime, that means that there's a decent chance that we get to, just dominate on that attack half, and we only have to win one on defense, as we know that center does. The domination, I mean, or as chat sometimes put it, the snomination. But the 3-ults, I think the 3-ults get used pretty soon. I think that if you wall this round and you Ixora ultimate, I feel like that's a fine. That's a fine sort of what's the word I'm trying to think of? Investment into this round, especially if it's the one round. I think you pop those and you win it. That gives you a 2-round lead and it puts you 2 away from OT. A nice just set of even numbers to play here. Ixora is going to get pushed by a lot of people. Hopefully Ixora can look to the left fast enough. Gonna maybe hear a little bit and back up. Last time Ixora did not back up and it ended up being his death, so I think this might be the right call. This might be the right call. Snom unknowingly looking directly at that Cypher. Everybody having to just wait for them to plant. Once they get all on, maybe we can play that similar playstyle to where we're just peeking in through the many different entryways of the site. Whisper with the Odin up on top of the box. I like it. Whisper's kind of been known for the cheeky strats, and I don't think that this should be excluded at all. You can't really do anything from up here without them pushing, but we'll spray through that smoke. That would be lovely. Oh, Twice Dan gets taken out on the way onto the site. So we're kind of just having to spray. That's one. It's an Empress popped. Gets behind the jet, finds another one, and is going to be able to save themselves from that breach. Spray and try and get the breach, the transfer, switch to the pistol. Is going to have to try and get out of there, but I don't think that that's very much possible. 3k from Ixora, which is nice, and Whisper gets to live. Not the worst outcome. They might be a little bit hurt on money, but also I think that Center is pinching pennies at the moment. So hopefully they can muster together a round. We used Ixora ultimate there and got 3. I don't think you can ask any more of Ixora. You can't really say use your ultimate and get 5. I mean, you certainly can say that, but really no one expects that. Ooh, that's a little bit of a mutual sight. Twicedan able to play off that information. He's going to concuss them a little bit. Twicedan backing up. Nom does fall. Twicedan left to defend mid. Ooh, unfortunately, Whisper not expecting them to be so close. They're going to pop that Cypher ultimate. Showing face, but deciding to move back and regroup. 3 to 4. We're going to have to play this really carefully, as our Sky is hurt. Our Sky is hurt, but Ixora on that Reyna has full util. Sky down, it's a 2 to 4. Not able to get one.
Spike planted.
Pierogi's gonna have to probably try and live here. I don't think there's a world that Pierogi is able to get all 4 and then also defuse bomb with all of the util that's still on the table. As we can see, just the util still being used to deter a Pierogi that isn't even there. I think that sort of draining them of this money as well as preserving your own. That's really the call here. I have no doubt that Pierogi could take out 1, maybe even 2, but a 3rd is asking almost too much, and a 4th is, no offense, nigh on impossible as Cypher. As Cypher attacking especially. Alright, well, going into this last one, I believe we might have used Seekers there. We've got, I say this last one, it's not this last one. Going into this next one. Misspoke, apologize. Still have that wall. and not really been a great opportunity to use that. It's more of a retake sort of ultimate, especially when you're on defense. But it's a retake ultimate that Snom has been incredibly aggressive in the early game, and so they haven't been able to stick around. Maybe they get a pick or two, but then they fall before they can use that ult. They're gonna push onto the site. Sort of playing close, not able to move to the jet fast enough, but Pierogi's able to find it. Pierogi getting got herself though.
Welcome to my world.
3 to 4, and there we go. Snom evening it out.
Spike planted.
I'm sure that was a pretty hype pick there. Just the sheriff gonna opt to pick up that banner. I think it's a fantastic move. Gonna see one. Know that there's one in there. Just spray through that. Really, there's not a lot that you can do here with the lack of information. You can flash around and hit that omen. Snom's in that Viper pit. Nice, that's a spray onto one. Snom doesn't quite know what the other two are. Oh, not able to find the other one. The shorty in Viper pit. It's Viper pit is, I don't want to say toxic, because it's not, it's not toxic literally in the world, literally in the word. What am I saying? Words. It's toxic in the sense that it is just draining you of your life at all times. So that shorty of just, let me shoot 1,000,000 pellets into a cone in front of me, and I do need to hit one of them. That's pretty big. I think that playing off of these ultimates that we haven't really been given an opportunity to use is pretty important. Ooh, Ixora instantly getting taken out by that jet, but I'm clearing that up. I'm getting taken out. I think that it might be greed. It might just be greed. It might be going for that second pick. If you back up, you live. If you go for the second pick, it just doesn't work out. It's a 2 to 4. Twice in, making it a 2 to 3, and then instantly, even though a little bit of damage is drawn out, just I don't know. There's been a lot of getting a trade and then wanting more from that trade. There's been, oh, I've got a kill, I can transfer. And maybe sometimes the play is not to transfer. Maybe sometimes the play is, I've got the kill, now let me regroup. We need to play a little bit more defensive, which is weird because we've been playing really offensive. It is 12 to 9. Center has to take on the next 3 rounds. If Center can win 3 rounds in a row, we take it to overtime, which I think is going to be really good for Center. But if that doesn't happen, then Center's going to lose at the end of this round. But, ooh, it's sort of a nice spray through the smoke. It looked like they went all on to B, which is unfortunate because we set up a lot on A. That's really nice. Snom did use that, use the ultimate and then got a pick, even if they weren't related. Thura getting another one. Snom getting the third. Nice. A little bit of a crossfire there. Snom picking up 3 in this round. Able to defuse. Thura picking up the 2. It's the coordination. It's the coordination. You have to play off of each other's intel and then play off of each other's crosshairs. Snom peeks out, and if Snom peeks that, then maybe that Breach is able to jump around the corner. But if Snom peeks that and Ixora peeks that, there's no chance that he gets out. Now, I hope that this is a little bit of a vote of confidence. I hope that they interpret this as, we won a round, now they're on their heels. Because we need them to be on their heels. We have to win 2 rounds in a row. I don't think it's impossible, and I think that we have the money to win this round. But, in a situation to where you almost can't play 1 round at a time. Whenever it's normal rounds, you can play, oh, this is a budget round, this is a force, and things like that. This round is the game. And so is the next round, and so is the next round. And, you have to think about all of the different avenues that they've taken, avenues that you've taken. What's worked the best for them? How do we play around that? What's worked the best for us? How do we prevent them from countering that? Now that this timeout is over, I hope that center was able to get a lot of, I don't know, I guess motivation from that, because the fatigue has certainly taken us over once before. Hopefully that can be avoided. Once again, just 2 rounds. That Concuss is gonna go out, and Whisper's gonna opt to just get out of there, and I don't mind that. Ooh, that ping goes out. Hits that Cypher. Ooh, the Viper gets taken out by Pierogi. They're pushing onto the site. Pierogi looking a little hopeless, but takes out 2 before she falls. That's really nice. That makes this a 3-3.
Spike planted.
Having this Jet ultimate could be kind of nice. Whisper takes out 1, can't find another one. 2-2. And we're now obtaining site control. They're playing a little bit off of it towards our spawn. If Ixora can get 1, even if he's hurt, he can get out of there. That Concuss is going to go out. Ixora's not in it, though, and finds 1.
Last player standing.
Snom falls. This is a 1v1 with Ixora having to defuse. All of it on the line. Is going to bait that defuse. Doesn't know that he's teleported. Now knows. Has to defuse. Unpeaks. Can't quite find it. Very unfortunate. Map 2 and the series. It's going to go to UAH. A really disheartening loss, but a really close game. A really close game. I think that were a rematch to happen, that I don't know. I'd really like to see that, because this has been a really close, just a bunch of team fights that I think was very fun to watch. Well, everybody, I hope that you've had fun watching this game and had fun listening to our antics. But we've a lot of games the rest of the week. Not gonna even try to list all of them, because I know that Gold has a really weird schedule. But yeah, I hope that everybody has a good rest of your night, and take care.